Good morning, everybody. Mike Wright, Edge Home Finance. I am very excited to have a dear friend of mine here, Billy Pauling from Keller Williams Realty Elite.
There we go.
as our Realtor of the Week this week. Billy, thank you very much for coming, my friend.
Thanks, Mike, for having me. I'm super stoked to be a part of this. This is I don't think I've ever done a podcast like this, so this is it's exciting.
Well, we love to do them because, one, it highlights you, but more importantly, you have so much experience that not only sharing, we're part of a group, Realty Connect, in Facebook that has over 900 realtors.
That's awesome.
And so it's super fun to not only learn what you do that makes you rock, but some tips to help those that are just starting in the business, want to know more about Keller, etc.
Yeah, I love realtors. So it's a big community, and I love anything I could share to be helpful I'm happy to do.
Excellent. Well, so tell us a little bit about you, Billy. I mean, obviously you have been around this area forever. You're dear friends of ours, friends with the Wardens, who are great friends of ours. And tell us how you got into this business. Have you lived in Minnesota all your life?
No, actually, I grew up in North Dakota, so
Okay.
I've kind of got a dual background. I grew up in North Dakota, so way out almost by Montana, Dickinson, North Dakota. And then I grew up in the grocery business, so my parents have always had grocery stores, and one at a time. And they sold their store in Dickinson and bought one in Montevideo, Minnesota. It's 100 miles west of here. Nice little town. And so we picked up and moved there, and then I graduated from Montevideo. So I kind of grew up in Dickinson, but then graduated from Montevideo.
Yeah.
So cool spot.
Now you've got wife, kids.
Yep.
Ages?
Yeah,
not the age of your wife. Don't worry. I'm
she's
not getting you in trouble here right out of the gate.
20-something bombshell. She's no, but Susan, my wife, she's a financial advisor with Edward Jones out in Waconia, and so that's what she does. But yeah, we've got 3 beautiful kids. Really, really lucky. Nothing but lucky guy problems, I always say. So my daughter is a freshman. They're all at Eden Prairie, and then I got a 6th grade son and a 3rd grade son. So
how about that?
Yeah,
you got your hands full with some activities.
Yeah, they're all 3 in hockey. So if I look crazy, it's probably because we are. Because 3 kids in hockey is a lot, but it's fun.
A daughter as a freshman. Oh, that's how I end up looking the way I do. You know, 2 girls and a boy. You know?
Yeah.
But you're still looking young, so that's great.
Yeah.
How did you end up getting in the real estate business? Coming from the grocery world.
Yeah, I grew up. I was surrounded by entrepreneurs my whole life growing up. Uncles, aunts, my parents, my grandparents. So I always knew I wanted to do something on my own. And there's a little bit of time in my life where I was thinking about joining the family business, grocery store business, and but I graduated from went to school at St. Cloud State, had an awesome time there. Too much of an awesum time. And
Maybe
but
some
I graduated.
red carpet stories that we need to hear or anything.
Not for this episode, maybe the next one. I graduated from college and I was trying to figure out what to do. And at that time, it's kind of a funny story because my parents were adding on to their grocery store and I kind of helped general contract that. So it was my summer job. And I was out one day with another buddy and we were working with some equipment. We were putting in the footings for this new big addition they were putting on the store. And another guy from Montevideo came up to us, a young guy, and he's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" Talking to us, and all of a sudden he goes into this story about he got his real estate license and he just made $2,000 on a deal. And at that time I was like, holy crap. $2,000, tell me more. How does this work? So that kind of was the seed that got me started thinking about real estate. And that led to a few months later telling my aunt and uncle, "Hey, can I stay in your basement for 6 weeks while I take, or 4 weeks while I take the real estate course," which turned into 6 months.
Right.
And then got my real estate license and just started working it from there.
How long have you been in the real estate business?
I think it's 19 years.
19 years.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that amazing?
Crazy, yeah.
Wow, it's seeing how successful you've been, not only doing your business yourself, but you've got a great team. So we're going to touch base on that a little bit as well. So tell us a little bit about Keller Williams, right? Because we get the pleasure of talking to people from Realty Group, EXP, Coldwell. Why KW for you, my friend?
I've been with some other great brokerages in town at times in my career, and I've been with KW now for going on 8 years. And I think it's you got to find where you fit well. And for me, KW has been a really good fit. I think the culture is really second to none. I mean, these colleagues have become really, really good friends now. And I think we're all like entrepreneurial mindsets, and that's one of the things that KW really lives by is that it's a community of entrepreneurs, and I just fit in really, really well with that. So
Yeah, good. I know that they had a void with their manager for a while, and matter of fact, I had talked to them about being their manager. But how's the new setup there? I mean, you like the
with our office in Eden Prairie. We've got Katie Stein, who's our team lead, and she's, if you don't know her, she's awesome.
Great.
Tons of energy, really knows what she's doing. She really helps with just when you walk into a space and if there's not that energy there, you can kind of just feel it kind of drag you down.
Correct.
Like when I walked in here today, it was just tons of energy, right? Like high up. And she brings that a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. And the training that she brings to the agents, really second to none too. And she's really brought in some amazing staff with her too.
Good.
And it's been really good. So
Well, and it's an interesting thing too. And again, we're going to touch base on your team, but I think it all comes from her, right? Because there's so many different personalities in that office in Eden Prairie that you need to know how to handle that new person compared to a person with a ton of experience.
Yeah, you got to know where everybody's at in their life, because they all come to the people in the office are all at different stages in their life. Different things are happening, and trying to be able to relate to that and understand how you can help in all those different situations is a really critical skill that Katie has. She does really well with it.
Well, and I think it's a skill you have as well, because I mean, it's we've talked about your team. We'll touch base on that now, but it's important to know what people's personal lives are, because they may be off, right?
Yeah.
What is happening? You need to know them deeper than just how's business.
Yeah. It's really critical. This business is all about relationships, right? And keeping up with those relationships, and real estate just kind of happens with those relationships, and that's So you got to be able to relate to people and understand where they're coming from, and try to find solutions for them too when they need it.
Yeah, well, it's a tough business right now.
Yeah.
So needless to say,
right?
nothing like going from about 4 to 8.
When are you going to bring rates down?
To a week, it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
But I think the consistent, persistent mindset that most realtors have is critical.
Yeah, and if I could speak to that a little bit, I think it's just coming back to a little bit of the old-fashioned, just making sure you're staying in touch with your database and feeding that database consistently, so that they remember that you're in real estate and that you're there to help them when they need it. It's critical. Yeah.
Well, and I think that you have done an amazing job with social media, right? You've got a number of friends, family, past clients that follow you, right?
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about how you do that so successfully, because you're so comfortable in front of a camera, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit. I think that just comes with practice, right? I mean, the first couple times you do things, you get a little nervous, right? That's normal. And also just putting yourself out there, that can be stressful for people too, and a little bit. I just don't think about it as much. I guess I just kind of put it out there and do that. But what was it?
So you have. I've seen a number of your posts about your listings, about events, about giveaways.
Yep.
How has social media, how have you used that to build your group?
Yeah. I think it just grows. The more you do it, the more eyeballs you get to people to see your stuff. And, sometimes it's really silly stuff. Like we've got a pumpkin event that we'll do some videos on here soon. We'll be pushing that out. But it's just, I just want to stay in front of people and remind them that, hey, I'm in real estate and I'm here to help you when you need us. And so consistently doing that is really important. Keller Williams really pushes this marketing plan called the 36 touch.
Yeah.
And that's, where they stress like, hey, if you're in front of people, you touch them 36 times with, hey, Billy Pauling's in real estate, that will, that'll lead to consistent business. And so the social media stuff is just a bonus on top of that 36 touch to make sure that we are staying in front of them.
How much of that do you do, right? Or are you delegating? Well, let's flip to your team.
Yeah.
So tell us about the team, your agents, your support people, assistants.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that and how you run your business.
Yeah, so we've got Ashley Mader, who's our head of operations for our team. She's been with us for 4 years, and she started off in marketing and has kind of been working her way up. She's
Brilliant.
just really like when you look at when you're hiring people, you look at talent, and she's definitely talent. She you give her a project and it comes back completed and on your desk faster than you before you sit back down kind of some days. So she's a really good leader that way, and she kind of helps keeps us all on track of, hey, we've got some tasks that are outstanding that you need to get done, you need to follow up. And so she's a really critical part of that. We just went into brought on Contract to Close, which is a transaction management company to kind of help with our transactions as well. So we're excited about that. And then we've got a number of agents on the team that are working with their buyers and sellers as they come in, and working their own book of business too, to try to help nurture like you see me doing in social media, but their own book of business. So we're helping guide them through that, making sure that they're doing the things that they need to be successful in this business.
To grow the business.
Yeah.
Do you find that the more experience you have, I mean, obviously all agents would just love to list homes.
Yeah.
List homes.
Yeah.
Do you still help buyers, or do you partner with your team members to help them?
It's a case by case situation. I'm trying to, have the team members on my team work with more of my clients.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit of a control freak too, and I want to make sure that everything's done the way I want to do it. And I got tremendous team members, but so I have that balance that I'm trying to get to more of. I'll help the team work through all the sales on the kind of back end, but also I'm still out there. I showed a house last night, so. Yeah,
but we talked about brand, right? Brand is critical in today's world.
Yeah.
Your name being tied to the business is critical.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you're going to survive. You're not going to be ending this run anytime soon, right?
Yeah.
And so the quality of your business has to continue.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we do a team weekly meeting where we're going over some sort of training at that meeting. We have a daily check-in every day at 11. It just talks about what's happened. Have you pended anything? Have you had the conversations? Because it's all about having conversations, right? Making sure you're staying in touch with people. So we report those numbers every day, and it gives us an opportunity to make sure that we're all, whether you're going with Mike or Bob or Robin or Lisa, that you have a very similar experience.
Yeah.
And so we work on that all the time. And it's a constant training, constant tweaking, constant adjusting, depending upon what's going on in the market, there's so many different variables. So we're constantly working on that.
There's tons of business models, right? Is it Billy Pauling's way or no way? Or do you accept input from the team members? How do you run your business?
I'm very much open to feedback from everybody.
Good.
They'll hear that from me all the time. I want to know what you think's working. What do we think we should do? Ultimately, it comes down to my decision a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I don't just listen and not take in their advice. And I think they'd all agree with that. I hope they would. But yeah, I'm very much open to their feedback and what we could do to improve. And I'll take that in, and we'll a lot of times use their feedback. Most of the time, the good ideas come from other people on the team, not me.
Amen.
So,
I mean, and many following here know my friendship and partnership with Jake. His input on me doing these has been critical.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not a good listener. I'm just going to come right out and admit it. But that collective input is critical for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what made you decide, because you obviously started yourself being a realtor, individual.
Yep.
What made you decide to flower into a team?
The opportunity to grow, right? There's gain in numbers, so that helps. trying to work through a work-life balance. Right, you got a family, and you got all these other obligations and things you're trying to do. So, yes, we all have to divvy up the pie a little bit more when we bring on other people, but with that comes can help us balance things. And so that was really growth and balance was what I was looking to achieve, and that's why I kind of started. That's why I started the team.
It is a resounding message, because we had a great friend, Tyler and TK, both came on and they said, you have to have days off. In this business, you will find that you could work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
24/7, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. How do you find that balance?
Oh God, I'm a really big advocate of the One Thing book. Have you read the One Thing?
Yeah,
And the one thing says it's always imbalanced. You always got to try to find the balance, and you're always adjusting to try to find it. So it's a constant challenge, and you got to just time block is the number one thing that I always say is you got to time block, and you got to really build walls around that time block, whether that's family time or lead gen time or writing contracts time or focusing on marketing or video, whatever it is. Really, time blocking is a critical thing for me. And then the good old fashioned just shutting your phone off, right, for a little bit.
You don't sleep with your phone, you know?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not guilty of that, but at the same time, that's can help to it's easy to say I'm not going to work today, but if your phone rings with a lead or something, the itch starts going. Oh, I got to get back to him. So just shutting it off, and you find that when you do that, or what I find is that it's still there when I get to it later that day or tomorrow. So
and I think clients respect the fact that you are not on all the time, or you're busy.
As long as you communicate to them, right?
Yes.
Like, hey, it's all about communication. Hey, I'm not going to be available, and I can talk to you tomorrow about that, or, I think then they'll appreciate and understand. Yeah.
So going from an individual realtor to a team, have you found that the more people that you have on your team, the more they're dependent on you, right? I mean, Tom Allis is a amazing friend of mine, leader of 1,000 loan officers, right? And he is just going constantly, go, 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 go. But yet, when I need something, I'll text him or call him.
Yeah.
And you want a response, right? You may not get it all the time, but how do you handle all that?
Well, I think that's the same thing with the clients, is you got to set expectations, and that's trying to manage that, because it does get to be a lot at times. And so, again, time blocking for some of those calls, and set up the expectations that, hey, I might not be able to get back to you right away, but I'll do my best on those fire type situations where they need a response quick. So, and then part of what we do too is we're very, very good about doing a daily check-in, and so that gives us at 11 o'clock every day we have a group Google Meet, and we all talk about things how things have gone for the last 24 hours. Questions come up, experiences are shared, and then we all learn from that. So, so that's a good way for me to check in and answer questions on a kind of a scheduled process.
So you've done an amazing job with the real estate business, marketing, managing people. Mm-hmm. Do you have mentors? How have you learned? I'm sure you got if you got Gary Keller's cell phone, maybe we'll get him on, what's his digits? Hit him up.
I think, I have had business coaches in the past, and I think, I know they're really good, so I'd recommend business coaches. For me, it's like, I've got to do it for a while, then maybe take a break, then come back into it. I'm probably getting close to needing to go back into it. But finding some sort of accountability partner is really good. But the way we do our 11 o'clock check-ins, there's a lot of accountability. I'm accountable to the agents on that call too. So they're holding me accountable. And I've got my parents in particular that, they're business, they've been business owners, and so anytime I'm in a stressful situation or need something, I always call them, and they're really good. So I'm lucky to have them around, and for a good coach and mentor as well for decisions that I need to make as a business owner.
So many of you guys have not been through a market like this. How do you keep? I know, right?
Yeah.
How do you keep everybody on the straight and narrow? I mean, obviously the 11 o'clock calls keep people focused, but it takes a lot of work to get business in today's world. Now heading into wintertime, what do you do?
I think there's nothing really, Einstein about it. It's really, I always like the phrase, keep it simple, stupid, right? Mm-hmm. And it comes back to relationships and just staying in touch with people. And you, instead of me making 20 calls and finding somebody that needs my help, I'm now making 50, right? I'm doing more follow-ups, and to get the deals across the line, we're doing a lot more work. It seems like people are a little bit more emotional right now, or everybody's a little bit more stressed with these changes in the markets, right? Interest rates going up, my house isn't selling as fast as I wanted it to. So just trying to, work through those, just knowing that it's not going to be as easy as it wasn't easy before. It was still hard before, but it's a different hard now.
Yeah. What are you seeing in the market? I mean, you're particularly kind of southwest.
Yep.
Or where do you farm?
I farm farming. I think you really got to farm. If you're going to farm an area, you got to farm the area that you're in the most, right?
Yeah.
So we farm around Eden Prairie in the areas that we live in, the communities that we're involved in, with hockey. My neighborhood, the area that we live in, and every agent on my team does that same sort of thing within their areas that they live.
Do your kids do hockey? What activities are they involved in?
Hockey, football, baseball, lacrosse.
But that's how you meet everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's how you're around them a lot.
Yeah. I mean, any agent, I would say, if you're going to think of doing any marketing spend, it's really good. The most efficient marketing spend I've found is the marketing spend in the areas that people are seeing you on a daily basis or close to daily. They can, then it just I think you have more likelihood of success with that dollar spent. Plus you're lots of times helping some organization that you're a part of too, so it's kind of a double win.
So has it paid off having kids yet, or no?
No, I'm still still negative, way negative. Yeah, we're in a hole on that one.
Well, that's terrific. So we've got a number of people like we talked about before, Billy. Give us 2 or 3 tidbits that you feel have allowed you to persevere throughout all this stuff. I mean, has it coaching, doing open houses, simply calling, staying in contact? I mean, this is a contact sport.
Yeah.
What has allowed you, what advice would you give your newer agents and those out here?
I guess the first bit of advice is making sure you have your database in order. So, you have the people that know, like, and trust you, you have their contact details. So you have a way to reach out to them. And so that's name, email, address, phone number, birthday, right?
Yep.
Those are the key metrics that we try to hit with all of our contacts. And staying in touch with them. And then also, don't sit on your hands and hope the business is going to come to you. So where does our business come from? It's because we're working for it every day. Nothing's coming to us easy. So we'll do door knocking. We'll do open house. I'm still doing open houses. We'll do events. We'll do the phone calls, text messages. It's really a combination of all of those things, and we'll see little bits of business come in from every one of those efforts.
It's easy because the business is so many shiny objects.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's social media.
Yeah.
Right? TikTok, X, whatever, whatever the case may be, you can get pretty sidetracked. Do you help these agents on your 11 o'clock calls to stay focused?
One of the things that we do as a team, and one of our responsibilities for our agents, is that we take almost all those expenses off their plate, so they don't have to worry about it. And that the time that they're doing it, they don't have to think about it. So and that's one of the benefits of being on a team, right? Generally, is that you get a lot of those expenses covered. So it helps you can help give you that staying power in a market like this too.
Right.
And then in return, you'll get some leads from the team as well, and so it kind of works both ways. But any advice that I'd have for any agents right now, and solo agents, or even anybody that's running a team, if you're spending a lot of money on, really look at your budget right now.
Yeah.
And cut out what you don't need, and track your ROI. What's working, what's not, and cut the stuff that's not, and double down on the stuff that is.
One of the coolest things that I've ever learned from somebody like yourself is the social media aspect. Right? Because a gentleman had said, where can you get 1,000 people, 4,000 people in one area for 15 minutes to share your message.
Yeah.
And it's free for the most part, right? I mean, that's where you've just done an amazing job.
Yeah, thanks.
Where do you see yourself going from here? I mean, obviously you're still young.
Very young, yep.
The kids, you got about another number of years there before they're out of school. Are you going to keep doing this biz, or?
That's a great question. I don't know. When I first got into this business, I was like, real estate sales is a stepping stone into something different, and I'm gonna be here 5 years, maybe 6 years tops, and I'm still in it because I love it so much, and it is a ton of fun. So where am I going to be from here? I don't know. I wouldn't shock me if I'm in a similar spot with my real estate business. But I think a good direction that we could kind of head is the direction that we're going right now, and that's bringing on other really good talented agents and trying to help them grow their business within our business, and give them the capacity to have them earn whatever they want, and through that I'll grow as well. So they're winning, I'm winning.
It's super cool to have you as a friend, because when we did this, I had a number of people reach out saying, what's the story with this guy?
Yeah.
How is he so good? Like, what's the deal? Am I going to get him over here? And I'm like, I'm not his agent. I'll be it for 10%. Not a problem. But I mean, how do you handle the balance in your ego? I forget, Jake, who had talked about the ego. I think it was Mike Bernier who had said the biggest nemesis of an agent, or anybody for that matter, is to control egos. Right? And you had brought on, when we had talked about your team, you had said, I don't want to bring somebody on that has this wicked ego. I want them to make my team the way my team is.
Yeah. It's funny that you say ego. I don't think I've come across this. I hope I don't have. We're at this super high ego, and I guess if anything keeps me in check is I do golf. And I'm a terrible golfer. So if I got any ego problems, bring me golfing. That'll dial me way down and boost your confidence probably, because everybody's a little better golfer than I am. I guess I don't think about it that way. I think that I've surrounded myself with amazing talent and amazing people, and I really think that they're up here, and I'm right down here, and somehow I'm leading this team, but it's really amazing people that are far more talented than I am, and so I really don't feel. I hope I don't come across as somebody with a high ego. Yeah,
you don't. I mean, I have been friends with you for a long time. Humble and controlled is what I admire about you.
Oh,
thanks. Plus you've got that team environment, and your family is amazing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, lucky.
Part of the reason why we have you here as the Realtor of the Week is your success, your character, just that. There's no ego, right?
Yeah.
We've had some people on where you just kind of go, okay.
Yeah.
But that's them.
Yeah.
Personalities. Do you do any, when you bring in on a team member, do you do personality tests, disc profiles?
Yes. We do a very, probably annoying to the, I think they have a good experience going through it, but it's not like the, one interview and you're done, you're on or you're not.
Yeah.
We do a full personality profile assessment, and then I go through the whole thing with them to validate, they call it. That's one of the features I really love about Keller Williams is their training, and this is a training that I went through a few years ago, and I keep refreshing myself on it too with some updated training, but on how to just really dig deep into what makes people tick.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we've the personality profiles on my team are all very similar by purpose, and because I'm really striving to make sure that we've got good fits for them and for us, and so that we're a good fit for any agent that we want to bring on or staff, and vice versa. So we spend a lot. Our interview process it's 4 separate interviews, and they're each about an hour and a half long.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
but that's
really
good
thorough.
though.
Yeah.
Because
and there's a whole system to it too. Like there's a whole thing we bring them through. So it's really cool.
But you've talked about how you don't lose team members.
Yeah, knock on wood, right? No, we've had really low turnover with our team. Yeah, I don't know what the average is. I mean, we just brought on a new agent that's going through our showing training right now, and really, really smart guy. So excited to bring him on. Karan is his name. But we've got after Karan, the shortest member that we have on the team is 3 years. So
good.
And we've got Lisa, who's been with me from the very beginning. She's 8. We're at 8 years now, so she's phenomenal. And Mike Taylor, who's been with us for 3 years now. I think it's 4 years coming up this December. He's awesome. Bob, who's been with us for 3 years. Robin, who has been with me for 8.
8 years?
Yeah, Matt Laughlin, who's been with us for, it's probably 5 years. So, yeah. So it's been, I've been really lucky that way.
And now you got a new one starting.
And a new one starting, yep.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, Billy, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you being here as a Realtor of the Week.
Thanks.
I love learning from you guys. It is so cool because it's how do we all survive in this business?
Yeah.
And we've talked to realtors and about burning bridges, etc. And friendships are critical.
Absolutely.
And it's not an easy business right now. But this stuff helps.
Yeah.
Because you motivate me and you motivate all those here.
Yeah.
That, a grocery guy, part-time, construction guy, can make it and done a successful job at it.
Yeah, thanks. And I gotta say, I love this podcast too. What a cool idea to bring people on and all of us share, and hopefully people get a little nugget or something that they could use in their own business. And this is really cool that you're doing it. It's good to see growth too. 900 agents that are a part of Facebook. That's
I think
not
it's
a small
915, something like that. We really need to get to that 1,000 mark.
I think it's only going to go up too. So that's really cool.
Well, and it's funny. Jake came up with a creative idea. We used to do it called the what was it? Oh, MN Realtors.
Yeah.
But as we are expanding down to Florida, Arizona, etc., Jake came up with a great idea of the Realtor Connect, because now we can do agents anywhere.
Yeah.
Double-edged sword, though. I feel like the growth has slowed down.
That's right.
And then Realtors to Realtor Connect.
Yeah.
But we might change it back.
We got Jake on his travel bag as I head down to Florida,
Yeah.
He'll be heading down here once a month,
Well, 900, and you just keep chipping away, and then all of a sudden it gets its own legs and goes, right? Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Jake humbles me because if it was me, I'm like, why don't we have 1,500? Why, let's go. It's like, dude, relax, So, but it's people like you.
Yeah.
That share it with their teams.
Yeah.
Share it with the offices, but it's your wisdom.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what some of the nuggets that you
school
roll
hard
your
knocks,
eyes,
yeah.
going, oh, great wisdom, here we go.
Yeah.
But it's you sharing this stuff with us that has helped tremendously.
Yeah.
So
I'm happy to do it. So.
You guys, everyone in this group, we truly appreciate you guys being here. Without you, we're nothing. And so I know that we've talked about you asking your friends to join this thing that are realtors. It is a private group, because I don't want a lot of people getting bothered, right? You guys get bothered enough that you don't need to be learning and getting peppered, right?
Yeah.
So we intentionally do it that way, which doesn't allow you to share this stuff, but it helps us tremendously. We've also got an Instagram page, which is all one word, Realtor of the Week, and feel free to come and follow us there. And then we've also got a YouTube channel, and it's all separate, Realtor of the Week. You get to learn from the best, right? And I mean that very sincerely, Billy. We appreciate you, my friend, and thank you for being on.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a pleasure. This is fun.
Yes, sir.